So just again, even though there's no superscription, the letter to the Hebrews, you won't read that in the text, but the text determines the title. And I want to emphasize that again, that we will be known by how we behave, both on the horizontal, but more importantly, on the vertical. That Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice. It's like, my sheep, they're sheep, but my sheep hear my voice. And they listen, they respond, they do. So however the title came to be, again, a lot of theologians posit that it was a late first, second century, second, third, and the early part of the third century, that the title to the Hebrews, the letter to the Hebrews came to be. But it's a reflection of the content. And again, so we don't check out of I'm not Hebrew, I'm not first century Christian, we are kind of in an urban house church, about a house church size, maybe a little bigger, not much. That ought to give us even some thought about what does it look like. And let me just pause here just real quick as I ramble. You all need to think through. It was William Leung who had asked. He said, "Pastor Meeks, do you always envision City Church, the community of faith, to be at 3864th Avenue on the corner of 39th and 4th Avenue?" It's like, we're here now, but we were in a garage. We were renting space from a high school gymnasium, and now we're here. My suggestion to you all, don't ever take a tabernacle perspective when it comes to ministry. What do you mean? Don't think that, ministry has to happen on this corner at this address and this zip code forever and a day. We need to be open, responsive, and hearing that still small voice of God. I'm not suggesting it, but there may come a day that the board in City Church, the members of City Church, say, you know what? I think given in 2050 or 2075, where the Alanas and Alana's kids and all of that stuff, they determine that, we're better able to serve and carry out the mission by dispensing of the responsibilities of a physical facility and doing something altogether different. What does that look like? I don't know. My only point is that the content will determine the title, and it'll determine the actual behavior, mete it out. But if you're in alignment with Him and you are listening to the Holy Spirit and giving Him, a half a chance, then you will be guided to do the things you're called to do. So I really want you all to hear that. Don't just be wedded to, it's gotta be this. I would hope that Sister Meeks has seen Disney used to have that thing, it's called the Carousel of Progress back in the late 60s, 70s, where they were projecting what it would be like in the future. And there was always a betterment, there was a progression. And as we, fancy word alert, as that sanctification enters into our being, then we are better than we were yesterday, but not as good as we'll be tomorrow. That's sanctification. And that's where God is taking us. And again, before I went down that rabbit trail, we don't live in the first century, and many of us aren't Jewish. There are some that are Jewish and that are, by DNA, that's awesome. But the application is the same. You look at the text in the context and in the setting of which it was given. Hebrews, we will find it provides that lens, as I shared before, kind of that kaleidoscope, that it clears up A lot of the pieces that were meted out throughout the Old Testament, a lot of the things that were, it were sketches and images, but it wasn't the full imprint. And along comes Jesus Christ. It's like, you want to know who God is? That's the man. That's God. It's one thing to be caught up. Let me just ask the question. Hopefully it's an answer. We do know there's a difference between religion and worship, right? There's a difference between religion and worship. Religion is about outward things, rituals, laws, traditions, moral practices. You can read the first part of James, the Epistle of James. Things that can be practiced, but if we're not careful, they can almost become mechanical. That's religion. That's religion. Worship is an inward thing. It's a relational response to God. That's worship. That is coming into the presence and knowledge of God and recognizing who he is, who I am, understanding the depth of love he has for me. And man, I can't help but bow down and worship. That's why it's obvious to the praise team, and it's obvious to those that are listening to the praise team, when we go from kind of a religious mechanical presentation to I'm worshiping right now. Because what I'm saying, what I'm singing, and just be it Floyd, hitting the drums just a certain way, Josh, with biting his lip and doing the BB King hop across the stage. It's like I'm worshiping right now. I hope y'all are getting it, but I'm worshiping. And again, there may even be times when it's like you're worshiping and it's like, yeah, you're kind of off key, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just like, no, we're worshiping. Religion is what people do for God. Worship is how believers respond to God. Religion is what we do for, let me go get the turtle doves. Let me go get the sacrifices. I gotta pay my debt, but worship is how I respond to God. Take your son, your only son, and sacrifice it. I mean, if you would talk about the perfect blend of worship and religion, that was there. When God told, when God gave the instruction, it's like, take your son, sacrifice him. Well, he's the son of my promise. Look, Abraham, this is what I told you to do. Okay, all right, I'll do it. I'm going to honor God. Why am I even spending time on this? Because we spend so much time. Thank you so much, Audrielle and Cyrus, for your testimony, your presentation. We spend endless amount of time doing religious stuff, hoping that it will somehow scratch that spiritual itch that we all have. We are designed to be in relationship with God, and we do everything but enter into that space. And then we wonder why, well, if I get a boo, then it'll make it right. Then you find out it's like, man, I was better off without a boo. Now I got a boo, and I still don't have that. I still don't have what I was looking for. And now you got I got named. You got that overlay of, now I got to deal with another issue. And I thought, if I just had that job, if I just had that person, if I just had that house, if I just had, fill in the blank. And God is like, I'm here. I'm here. This is the, if I had an image of a hole in a peg, and it's like we're trying to jam that square peg in a round hole, and it's like, doggone it, God, you've got to make it work. And it's like, you can do it and you can jam it in there. It still ain't going to work. We are designed. We're in his image. We're in his image. We are God-like in his image. We're not God. Don't go down that religious path that some believe. Oh, well, we can somehow become God. No, that ain't happening. But no attempt at religious trying will get us to that point of oneness with God. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So this letter is an effort to ensure that the audience has a firm understanding of and for their faith. Why? Because things were tough then, written kind of the 75, 80, 90 AD time. They were tough then, and they were going to be a whole lot tougher. And so I need to give you basis for why you believe what you believe, because otherwise, as we are prone, just ask those that came out of the Exodus, maybe slavery wasn't so bad after all. Maybe we should just go back to the way things were. We'll be okay. And it's going to be tougher. That's why I was sharing with those that if you read the text too often, again, it's on YouTube, it's everywhere. I mean, it's like if you want the answer you think you want, it's on YouTube. It's in social media. You will find someone speaking that. You will see, you'll see a video or something that'll say, well, this is the answer to the problem you're having. And it does not align with anything biblically. But that's what the evil one does. He's evil. The evil one is evil. In the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets at many times and in various ways. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, and through whom also he made the universe. Again, the opening is not the typical letter. There's no, hello, this is Paul, this is whoever. How are you all doing in Corinth? How are you doing in Galatia? That's why it was posited by many theologians that this is a sermon. The letter to the Hebrews is a sermon. It's a message. It's a word of encouragement from someone from a house church, probably in an urban space, to them because of the situation they were in and were getting ready to face. The author writes that God communicated with his people literally in many pieces and in many ways. And again, as I tried to share last week in a ham-handed way, hopefully better now, is that just like facets on a diamond or a kaleidoscope, again, for those who were born after the microwave, a kaleidoscope is that little piece of tube that looks like a paper towel roll that's twists, and it's got pieces of broken plastic, and you look on one end and you twist the plastic and you get an image. I know you guys actually got thrills out of that stuff. And then you twist it again, you get ooh, and you hold it up to the light, and it was just like, ooh. It's like, kids are like, eye roll. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, give me my remote. It's like, what's it? But it's the same tube, same pieces of plastic, same God, but you just twist it, and it's like, oh, wow. I see you in that way. That's why there's a bajillion names, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Rapha, It's like God is evidencing himself in ways to respond situationally. It's like, I need an infinite number of names to really, it's oxymoronic. It's like, I need an infinite number of names to describe who I am because I'm infinitely indescribable. But again, hard metal onto soft metal. You want to see the image? That's my son. That's him. That's me. That's me. That's God. And so the writer, as one theologian said, the writer wastes no time opening with a bold and sweeping thesis that sets the agenda for the entire letter: who Christ is, what he has done, and why that demands our perseverance in everything. That's why it's the difference between not only religion and relationship, but once we come into that full understanding of who God is, that's what will propel us to do the things we are called to do. Because otherwise, if it's simply just a matter of religious response, after a while, just like any of us, I'm tired. I'm tired. I've sacrificed enough turtle doves. I've sacrificed enough lambs. I'm done. I'm done. Sound like religion? I'm done. I'm tired. And that's why many people, particularly those the millennials, Gen Zs, and even Gen Xers, I don't know what about us boomers, but God pray for us. But it's like, you know what? There's a disconnect between what you say and how you live. And then I'm just seeing, this is not quite working for me. Yeah, it's like, okay, it's like, I just don't need more smoke, better bands. And, I'm looking for a relationship. I want to know who I am, where I'm going. My life matters. What am I supposed to be doing in this 70 plus minus years of life? I say I'm almost done, I promise. I had never met my cousin, distant second cousin. Thank you again for all of you all that made the workshop, the winter workshop possible. And I would otherwise have been in this space more robustly, but I was asked at the last minute, literally, would you facilitate the homegoing, the celebration of life for a 23-year-old who tragically died in a motorcycle accident, 23. And as I shared with them, I share now, 23. Well, I just celebrated 68. You can multiply 23 times 3, you get 69. God gave me almost 3 times the amount of time that young man experienced. Why? I don't know. And I won't go down that path of projecting, oh, well, this is the reason why. It's like there are certain things we just don't know. And just need to leave it right there at the doorstep of, no, I don't know. But what I do know is in his infinite wisdom, he has given you, fill in the blank, X number of years to do what? To do what? Hopefully get have a good time, have a few kids, maybe not, maybe find a boo, maybe not, get a good job, maybe not, and then call it a day. That's it. Well, we can check out now. It's like, no, that can't be it. That cannot be it. There's got to be more to this thing we call life than just doing what we're doing. So what does it mean? Oh, we're supposed to come here and just be in this space and just rock Daniel. It's like, well, rocking Daniel is cool. But we're here for an hour and a half plus minus once a week, largely in plenary as a whole. It's like, no. Our light is shown in the spaces God takes us every day in every place, especially in the checkout line. With that person that has 11 items and it says 10 items or less and they got 11 and you're giving them the side eye. Well, you wouldn't, I do. It's like seriously? Oh, this won't matter. Oh, well then take down the sign if it doesn't matter. It's just like, I know. You're a better person than I am. But that's see, but when we move into that relationship, that's why my father, and probably your parents, if you're raised right, is like, look, boy, look, girl. It's like, you're a Johnson, you're a Smith, you're a Meeks. Don't mess up the family name. Don't mess up the family name. You know who you represent? Especially the Kennedys. It's like, you know who you are? It's like, oh, no, don't make me come after you. I am done. Let's just. The sun is the radiance of God's glory, the exact representation of his being, sustaining all things by his powerful word. After he provided purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the majesty in heaven. So he became as much superior to the angels as the name he has inherited is superior to theirs. I shared before and I share again those 3 points. God is sovereign and present. God has been faithfully at work across generations, and Jesus Christ is God's final and gracious word to us. So we are to rest in God's sovereignty, trust the story that God has been telling, and listen carefully to the voice of the Son of God. As I enter into that relational space with God, and again, this, you want to know how we grow? This is a measure of growth. As I understood, when I was a kid and immature and my frontal lobe wasn't fully developed, I equated my parents' love for me by the things they did for me that I wanted them to do. I want to go to McDonald's. I know it's not healthy, but back in the day it was the rage. You could get a hamburger for 25 cents back in the day. They used to have that advertisement where you can get a whole meal for under $1 and get change back. I equated their love for me by the things I wanted them to do for me. As I matured, I understood that was doing stuff, that was doing stuff, but their love for me, more often than not, came in the form of restraining me from doing the things that I really wanted to do. Again, you're better than I am. But I sure enough thank God for Reuben and Henrietta for saying no. No, you cannot play with that young man. You cannot go there. I want to play. No, you cannot play sports. No, you cannot do this. You're not, no, because it will take you from where you need to be. Man, I'm big mad. This is not fair. This is just, and as the song intones, Sister Jones, Mark understood it better by and by. I entered into that relational space with my parents. I entered into that relational space with God, and now I see, in retrospect, oh, God, you were saving me. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. There's been more than one time, but one time I distinctly remember. I said, God, if you get me out of this situation, I meant it with everything, and God be praised. I never got myself in that situation. But if you get me out of this situation, I promise I won't do that again. Again, don't look at my closet, and I won't stare in yours. All I'm saying is that God He loves us more than we could ever love ourselves. That's it. That's the letter to the Hebrews. We are worshiping an infinitely holy and loving God that has shown himself in his Son, my Savior, Jesus the Christ. And if you want to know who God is, look at Jesus. Look at what he said. Look at what he did. Look at how he lived. Look at how he sacrificed. That's why you see all of the imagery, all of the temple imagery, and it's just like lived out in Jesus Christ. And they're encouraging the urban church, hang in there. Hang in there. Hang in there on those jobs. Hang in there on those relationships. Hang in there on whatever situation God has. Hang in there. Now, I'm not saying, just hear me what I'm saying. Hang in there and wait on me. Don't you act on your own. Whatever that is. You just are you trusting me? Are you just going for the quick and easy that you think? Samson, go get her. Go fetch her for me. And I'm like, no. I want a king just like everybody else has kings. I want a car like everybody. Why? What's wrong with having a nice car? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong with it. Did God tell you to go get in debt so that you now have to work double overtime to pay for something? Is that what he's saying? Again, it's not. See Jeff and Debbie, and they've got the financial awareness class. And let's stand. Let's go home.